Reboot of the Prowler, modern day PTSD would look like. You know, speaking of reboot of the Prowler, I just reviewed the Mutilator, and the Buddy Cooper who directed the Mutilator, he's been wanting to do a sequel to that movie for ever since it came out, and without stepping outside of my legal bounds or anything, I will say I have heard that a sequel is a high possibility right now. Okay. I got a good friend of mine that reached out to me and told me it's probably happening. And it's going to be pretty crazy. So, and if you've seen the Mutilator, you know that it's famous for the kills. Like, the Mutilator has some amazing kills in it. Like, it surprised me when I first saw it. It's one of those movies, like, when you watch it before the kills, you're thinking, because of the quality of the movie, because of the acting, because it feels very, very, very low budget. So you're thinking by the time you get to the kills, these kills, they probably don't have that much money to put into these kills. And then the kills happen, you're like, holy shit. I see where they put their money. They put all their money into the kills, which is good. So, and it's an 80s slasher, so bad acting gets a pass anyway. But yeah, I think you guys are going to be happy in the next year or two if you're Mutilator fans, for sure. Okay, didn't we just, like, we're in the midst of Spiral. Spiral's coming out in the next few months. So, this news just comes out of nowhere. Saw franchise targets milestone 10th film as development is underway. So, that makes me think they're thinking, oh yes, we're definitely getting a hit with Spiral. And wouldn't it be crazy if Spiral comes out and it does nothing? Like nothing, because right now with the pandemic too, you're taking a little bit more of a risk. You know, like all these movies see the box office that Godzilla vs. Kong did, and they start getting a little froggy and thinking, oh, we can get those numbers too. Not so fast. So, before I start reading this, what do you guys think about this as far as Saw? Like, do you think they're jumping the gun here? Or do you think, you know what, they're going to make their money back? They probably got a good story. Let's go ahead and continue the franchise, and let's get the 10th film. Are you guys for this, or do you think, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's check out Spiral first. I want to hear your thoughts on this, okay? I'm kind of split on Spiral, Erica Bro says. Me too, Erica. After I saw that last trailer, I was a little worried because Chris Rock, I don't know. I mean, and in a trailer, you want to put forth your best work. And Chris Rock was the thing that kind of turned me off to the last trailer. I liked him in the first trailer because he didn't really say anything. But in this trailer, right, like Chris Rock is not Denzel Washington, okay? He just doesn't have that level of acting ability, in my opinion. I don't think he's a bad actor. I think at certain things, Chris Rock is great. He's awesome. Like Lethal Weapon 4. He's freaking awesome. But I hope he proves me wrong, and I hope Chris Rock is awesome in Spiral. He very well could be. But I'm a little worried now, okay? Just a little worried. Durant says, my favorite Saw movie was with Dr. Phil. Is there a Saw movie with Dr. Phil? Like, I've seen, I think, all the Saw movies except for Jigsaw. And I don't remember any of the previous movies. And I hope Durant is kidding. I hope and pray that Dr. Phil was not in a Saw movie. Dino Review says, I always say yes to new horror, but it got me thinking that maybe they have an overall idea for multiple. Maybe they have a trilogy in mind or something like that. So, let's read this real quick, okay? Let's read this and let's see what it says, all right? Quit playing grab ass, everybody, okay? Funnies are coming too, guys, okay? Funnies will be coming, all right? Okay, it's about time we start thinking of Jigsaw as one of the biggest slashers in horror history, placing him right alongside that of Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, almost said Freddie Mercury, Michael Myers, Chucky, and even Pinhead. With Lionsgate set to revitalize the franchise next month with Spiral, the Chris Rock-fronted 9th film that brings Saw 2 through... Is that 4? Yeah, Saw 2 through 4 director Darren Lynn Bousman back behind the camera. Producers Twisted Pictures have already begun development on the milestone 10th entry. In their latest issue, Production Weekly lists Saw 10 as being in active development. It's caused a bit of a flurry on Reddit as hardcore fans noted that James Wan's Atomic Monster is listed as one of the film's producers. The thought here was that Wan, who made his directorial debut on the first Saw in 2004, had returned to help develop the 10th film in the franchise. Now that could be good. That could be good. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Wan, as one of the co-creators next to Lee Winnell, has been a producer on every single entry since the beginning. Oh, okay, so it doesn't really amount to much then. Bloody Disgusting has confirmed that Atomic Monster is listed in error and not involved in the forthcoming film. And I can assure you that Wan has not returned as an active participant. So that's not good. With all that said, we can confirm that a 10th film is actively being developed. What that means exactly is up in the air, as Twisted Pictures and Lionsgate are notorious for pivoting in different directions throughout the process. It's also possible that the box office for Spiral in theaters on May 14th could affect the future of the franchise, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As for now, Jigsaw's games will continue on and absolutely live in infamy within horror history. So, this is nothing new, guys, okay? I mean, movies that are made for $150, and the Saw franchise is a pretty low-budget franchise, you know? This is nothing new. The movies get greenlit all the time. If they think we're going to make a profit, then they're going to go ahead and greenlit it. I mean, this is the 10th Saw film. So if this was the, if Spiral was the second Saw film, I don't think they would greenlit the third one automatically. But like I said, this is the 10th film. There is a little bit of buzz around Spiral. I've seen a lot of buzz for the movie. So I don't think it's a financial disaster, gamble to do this. I think they're going to make back their money. I don't know what the budget is for Spiral, but I'd imagine $20 million or less, something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. Are you guys like big Saw fans? Because I like the first movie, but to me the story just got way out of hand and just very convoluted, and I think they got, I think they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. And I've watched them. I've watched most of them. And I found myself like zoning out midway through. Like, what? They're referencing, like we got the fifth movie referencing back to like the second movie, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh God. So, but I know like Chris there. Chris is a huge Saw fan. I do need to go back and watch them someday, because eventually I would like to review the rest of the franchise. I've only done the first movie, but it's just one of those franchises I'm like, do I want to do this? Do I want to just, like, I got 5 other movies on my plate right now that I wouldn't mind watching. Do I really want to jump into this? And I always end up opting out. So Frank Riker says, let's be honest, it's not really hard to make a Saw movie. Just have no story but elaborate traps. I'm telling you, if you got the traps, you're already ahead of the game. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you think Saw was like kind of what started the whole torture porn craze? And there are some people that would say that Saw, the first Saw, is not really a torture porn movie, but just the idea of these traps, like that picture right there with that device on her head that, that pulls open after a certain amount of time and rips her head. I mean, to me, that's like torture porn. Let's see. Born Sleepy says, hey Lee, my best friend is in Saw 6. Check it out. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Darren says, exactly, Frank. Nobody went to see Saw for its deep character arcs and plot. Which that, to me, I think that's what they were going for. They wanted like a deep character plot and all this stuff. And to a lot of people, I think they failed because they got a little bit too crazy with it. And here goes. See, now we got some chatter. We got some chatter in the chat. A little bit of arguments right there. Chris is saying, Frank, are you serious? There's a lot of story in those Saw movies. The traps are what sells the tickets, but the story is a giant soap opera. I would agree with that. It does feel like a giant soap opera. you can take that as a good thing or a bad thing, honestly, because it does get a little bit too crazy, And for me, when I'm invested in a story, I want it to be kind of grounded. I don't mind them getting a little bit like take for instance the movie Triangle. Like that movie gets fucking crazy in the last act, but they keep you invested all the way until you get to that crazy twist ending. And I think that's my problem with the Saw franchise, is that by the end, let's say Saw 5, and I don't remember anything about Saw 5, but by the crazy twist at the end of Saw 5, it doesn't have that much impact for me because I don't really care what went on before, But again, like I said, I'll give them a chance. I've been meaning to rewatch the movies. Who knows? Maybe I'll like it better the next time I watch it. Okay. So, yeah, that is the Saw news. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big Saw fanatic, so I can't really comment on how excited I am about a 10th film. I'm not really that excited. So,